Pedlars that lead the table over in League 2 as we enter matchday number 12. But will they still be there at the end of this coming weekend? We're going to get into that and much more next. That's right, folks, we're back with, again, another video. It is match number 12, that's right, over in League 2, and we'll get to that in just one second. If you know, where the hell have you been, guys? Smash your subscribe. This is your one-stop shop for League 2, and it's all here, right under our Rooski, that's right. Of course, while the rest of the UK is focused on the international game, we are fully focused for League 2 action. And we've got my predictions, and they're coming at you in just one second. Big shout-out to the members, you know who you are. Big shout-out to the patrons, you know who you are. That's right, we are back. And, of course, I'm coming at you right here, right now, to bring you bang up to date with what's going on over in League 2. So sit tight, guys and girls. We're going to jump into the deep end by reviewing those games that did take place last time around. So here we go. Looking back at it, of course, these were the results. My predictions are on the left-hand side. The real deal was on the right. So let's showcase you what went down last week. MK Dons picked up a cheeky 3-2 win over Gillingham. I went with a draw. Got it wrong. Newport County losing at home to Swindon 1-0. I went with a 2-1 away win. Barrow picking up a draw against Shrewsbury Town, 0-0 on that. Again, got it wrong. I did get this one similar, sort of right. Bromley and Tranmere all square in the end, but 3-3 thriller. Points split right down the middle. Cambridge with a 3-1 win over Crawley. I went with a 2-1 win. Cheltenham Town under new management once again. 2-0 winners over Fleetwood Town. Big win for them as they try to drive up the table. Colchester United put 6. I said 6. Past Chesterfield. I went the other way. Barnet with a 2-0 win over Accrington. Stanley, 2-1 winners in my eyes. Harrogate Town losing at home to Crewe. That was, of course, a late fixture on there. Notts County with a 3-1 win of Oldham. 2-1 winners of me. Grimsby big 2-0 away win against high-flying Salford. And then Walsall doing the thing to remain top, or now be top, over the rest of the chasing pack. 2-1 winners over Bristol Rovers. So that is the state of play in the last round of games. But this is the table as we see it right here, right now. Walsall leading the charge. They are 1 point clear over Swindon, who are up there in the top 3 with Grimsby at the moment. But it could all change dramatically. Speaking of change, it is a little bit of change down the bottom of the table with Newport County rock bottom, with Shrewsbury Town joining them. Typically, this is where I showcase you the prediction league. We are doing it in stages and spurts and fits and spurts. The next time we'll bring you an update, I don't know, maybe the end of the month, we'll see. But anyway, we're going to kick it on forward to the next round of games, and these are those, guys and girls. So of course, they're coming at you thick and fast, so we're going to go over them one by one. Starting with a trip to Accrington Stanley. Let's get into this one then, shall we? Let's come out over at Accrington. John Doolan, the coach there, 20th in the table right now. Accrington Stanley coming into this on the back of a defeat. Up against the Welsh Wonders, Newport County, who are 24th. Goodness gracious me. This already seems like a relegation 6-pointer, but they are coming into this on the back of a win. We'll talk about that in a minute. Over the course of time, they played 14 times to 2013. 4 wins for Stanley, 6 wins for Newport County. There's been 4 draws. They last played at this venue as a 5-0 win for Accrington back in March 2025. And of course, that win for Newport County was against Cardiff, the fellow Welsh opponents in the Football League Trophy South. Good, so that might be a morale-boosting victory for them. As for Stanley, they lost in the same competition to Port Vale this past midweek. Coming into this, the bookies will back Accrington Stanley. I think I'm going that way as well. Newport County are struggling right now, and this could be the year they go down back into non-league football. So Stanley 1, Newport County 0. Bristol Rovers, they're taking on MK Dons, coming over at Memorial Stadium. Darrell Clark's boys are doing much better than they were at the start of the campaign. Just 1 defeat though in the last 6. Up against MK Dons at the Paul Warren, they're up to 7th right now. 18 points for them. 2 wins, 2 defeats in their last 4. They played 19 times over the course of time since 2006. 6 wins for Bristol Rovers, 10 wins for MK Dons. There's been 3 draws. They last played at this venue. It was a 2-0 win for MK Dons in League 1 back in February 2023. Again, both in the Football League Trophy South. Bristol Rovers losing to Cheltenham. MK Dons losing to Reading. The bookies will go with Bristol Rovers here, despite MK Dons' upturn in form, but it is tight. Very, very tight. Could be a draw. I've gone with a big 3-1 win. Next up, we go to Crawley Town. They're taking on Walsall High Flyers table toppers right now. Let's come back over at Crawley, where Scott Lindsay is struggling. 21st in the table, with just 8 points for the campaign. They've got 4 defeats on the spin. Up against Walsall and Matt Sadler, who are top of the table. 25 points for them. They, of course, do come into on the back of a defeat. We'll talk about that shortly. They've taken on Crawley 17 times since 2012. 4 wins Crawley, 5 wins at Walsall. There's been 8 draws. Speaking of draws, the last three between these two sides, whether they are in Crawley at Walsall, have ended up all square, including the last time they played back in February 2024 in League 2. Crawley losing to Leyton Orient in the Football League Trophy South. Walsall doing the same, losing to Northampton Town as well. But the bookies will back Walsall despite Crawley. Got a good bit of form here, or a good bit of a favourage with the bookies. But it is tight. Walsall should nick it. Of course they will. 2-1 winners for me as well. Let's go to Crewe, Alexandra. We're going to Grimsby Road as they take on Bromley. Lee Bells, Bromley are 5th right now. 19 points for them. Back-to-back wins for them. Up against Bromley, Andy Woodman. They're winless in the last 6. They sit 13th with 15 points. They've taken on Crewe twice. They've lost both of them, including the most recent match at Crewe back in January 2025. Crewe on the back of a 2-1 win over Harrogate Town. Of course, that was last weekend. Bromley losing to Stevenage in the Football League Trophy South. The last league match was a 3-3 thriller against Tranmere. Rovers. Bookies back in Crewe. I'm back in Crewe to get at least a win. 2-0 winners in the end. Chesterfield taking on Salford. Coming at you over at Chesterfield. That's right. Paul Cook's lads are 9th right now. Just one defeat in the last 5. Up against Salford and Carl Robinson. Just one win in the last 3. They are 6th with 19 points compared to Chesterfield. 9th with 18 points. They played 5 times since 2018. 3 wins for Chesterfield. 1 win for Salford. There's been 1 draw. Last played at this venue, it was that 1 draw, guys, back in August 2024. Chesterfield picking up a win against Burton, Football League Trophy Northern. As for Salford, also picking up a win, same competition against Stockport County back just a couple of days ago. Meanwhile, coming into this, the bookies' odds, they're going towards the Salford here. They need to respond after that defeat, heavy defeat against Colchester United. But the last home match was against Newport, where they did put 4. So expecting a bit more of that to return. But it's going to be tight between these two sides. Going to sit on the fence with a 1-1 scoreline. Let's go to Gillingham. Once table toppers, now all the way down into 4th place. They've lost 3 in the bounce in all shapes and all sizes. Up against Steve Cotterell's Cheltenham, who of course picked up a win in the league last time around. They played 17 times in 2006. 4 wins to Gillingham, 5 wins to Cheltenham. There's been 8 draws. Cheltenham all the way down to 22nd with 7 points. Last played Gillingham at this venue was a 2-2 thriller way back in December 2024. In fact, the last 3 also ending all square between these two sides. Gillingham, though, losing to Colchester in the Football League Trophy South, also losing to MK Dons and Harrogate to make it 3 defeats on the spin. Up against a Cheltenham side who did pick up a 2-0 win over Fleetwood Town. That was at home. The last away match was that 7-1 stuffing by Grimsby. The bookies will go with Gillingham, and they're still high flyers, they're still contenders, but they need a result and fast. Going there with a 2-0 win, Gillingham, to fight back a little bit. Let's go to Fleetwood as they take on Harrogate, of course, over at Highbury. They played 6 times in 2008, 2 wins apiece and 2 draws. Fleetwood are in 14th with 15 points. They've won 2 and lost 2 over the last 4. Harrogate have just lost once in the last 4. They're up to 16th with 14 points. They last played, of course, over at Fleetwood. It was a 1-1 scoreline way back in December 2024. Harrogate, though, picked up a win in the last match between these two sides in Harrogate back in April 2025. Fleetwood picked up a 4-0 win over Leeds Youth. That was in the Football League Trophy North. Harrogate losing to Crewe, as we mentioned earlier. Bookies will back Fleetwood under Pete Wild, of course. It's going to be a tight one. Going to go with a 2-1 win. Not much in it, but Fleetwood will bag the 3 points. Let's move on to Grimsby. They're well into contention for the top 3 right now. They're in the top 3 right now. Coming into this on a 58% form for them at the moment, losing twice though in the last 6 in all competitions. Up against the Colchester side who make it back-to-back wins. They're 19th though with 11 points for them. They've taken on Grimsby 18 times since 2003. 6 wins Grimsby, 8 wins Colchester. There's been 4 draws. They last played at this venue. Colchester coming out on top with a 1-0 away win. That's back in November 2024. Doncaster, though, beating Grimsby in the Football League Trophy Northern. That was in midweek. Colchester picking up a win over Gillingham themselves in the same trophy, but the southern section. Grimsby, though, should fancy the chances with the bookies also backing them. I'm also going to back them as well. 3-1 win. Grimsby, real deal. Shrewsbury Town need a result and fast. They're taking on a Cambridge side, though, who are up to 8th right now under Neil Harris. Just 1 defeat in the last 6. Shrewsbury under Michael Apton, just 1 win in the last 6 for them. They sit 23rd with 6 points. They've taken on each other 16 times in 2002. 4 wins Shrewsbury, 7 wins Cambridge. There's been 5 draws. They last played at this venue back in April 2025 last season in League 1. Good discretion resulted in a 1-0 win for Cambridge, who have won 3 in the bounce against Shrewsbury. They're coming into this, though, Shrewsbury on the back of a 0-0 draw away to Barrow. Cambridge pick up a 3-1 win over Luton in the Football League Trophy South as well. Bookies will back Cambridge. They're the away side. Yeah, I'm going to go with them as well, I think. Yeah, 1-0 winners, not much in it, but enough to get the 3 points once again for Neil Harris's lads. Let's go to Swindon. They're taking on Notts County, coming at you on the 11th of October. All these games on the 11th. Ian Holloway's boys are second right now. 5 wins of the last 6. They're cooking with gas. Holloway, one of the names linked with the Blackpool job, up against Notts County and Martin Patterson. Just 1 defeat in the last 4. They're also doing good in form at the moment. 10th in the table, 17 points. They've taken on Swindon 26 times since 1994. 12 wins Swindon, 9 wins Notts County. There's been 5 draws. They last played at this venue. 2-1 winners it was for Swindon, for Notts County, who did the double over Swindon last season. Coming into this, though, Swindon on the back of back-to-back wins, back-to-back clean sheets, up against the Notts County side, also on back-to-back wins, back-to-back home wins, though. The last away match was against Crewe, where they lost. Bookies, I haven't got no bookies on this one, so we'll go with my gut. My gut says a Swindon Town victory. Holloway, is he the lad to keep Swindon on track, or will he be tempted with an emotional return? To Blackpool, Tranmere Rovers taking on Barnet, coming at Prenton Park. Andrew Crosby's boys are 18th with 11 points. Just 1 defeat in the last 6, however, only 1 win in the last 5 up against Barnet under Dean Brennan, who are 11th with 17 points. So unbeaten in the last 5, picking up 4 wins and 1 draw in those last 5. These two sides never played each other according to my data. Tranmere, though, on the back of that 2-1 win over Barrow in the Football League Trophy South. However, in the league, they are winless in a bunch of games, of course. A lot of draws knocking around for Tranmere. Meanwhile, Barnet on the back of that 2-0 win over Accrington Stanley. That was last weekend. Bookies will back Barnet on the road here, but Tranmere are the draw kings at the moment. I do think they're going to get one here. 1-1 with the bookies back in Barnet. And then finally, we go to Boundary Park. It's Oldham taking on Barrow. Bit of a Northwest crunch clash coming at you at the late kickoff on the 11th, of course. Oldham into 15th right now, 14 points for them. Winless in the last 3. Up against Barrow and Andrew Wing. 1-1 lost, 1 drew, 1 over the last 3. They've taken each other on 6 times in 2014, 2 wins apiece and 2 draws. The last 2 matches were draws. One was a friendly, so it doesn't really count. And the last one played in Oldham was a 3-0 win for Barrow, who are unbeaten, professionally, friendly, 4 games on the spin. Coming into this, though, Barnet, not in this conversation, but Oldham on the back of that 3-2 loss to Rotherham United Football League Trophy. Northern, Barrow losing the same competition to Tranmere not too long ago. Oldham actually favoured for the victory here. I think they might get something out of this. Barrow have been playing okay. Oldham, of course, home will have the fans behind them. So we're going with a 2-1 win against my better judgment. So that, my friends, is what I have for you. And if I am right, this is what the table will look like. It'll be Walsall still top of the charts there. Swindon Town in second spot with Grimsby in third. Going down, Newport County and Shrewsbury, of course. We will have the prediction league, so make sure you do your thing over there. And then, of course, we'll come back very, very soon for the next one again when everyone else is back. But until then, subscribe, smash the like. I'll catch you later. We're done.